Hey guys, it's new firmware release day for the Line 6 Helix Stadium and Helix Stadium XL. They added a bunch of stuff. They added the showcase feature, which I'm not going to focus on in this video. It's not really my territory as I'm just like a studio player. I record guitar, I play guitar in the studio. But that's an amazing game-changing feature for playing live, I imagine. However, they added 3 new amplifiers, a Fender amp, and then also a Mesa Boogie Mark II C+, and a Marshall Silver Jubilee. So we're going to have fun with those 2 high gain amps, so the Marshall and the Boogie, okay? Just see how they sound, have some fun, and dial them in, okay? Now the guitar that I'm holding today is my ESP LTD EC1000 full thickness, really cool guitar with the Fishman Fluence Will Adler pickups. Right now I am on the passive voicing. These pickups sound really awesome. And yeah, we're gonna dial in a fresh preset with the Boogie amp first, okay? So let's go to the user presets and open up a new preset. There we go. Let's turn on the noise gate with threshold around 50 or so, decay at the fastest setting. Then I'm gonna load up an amp. And as I said, we're gonna start with the Cali 2C+. There you go. In all its glory. Look at that. Look at that. Very cool. We're going to add an IR, but I'll try the stock cabs later on as well. I want to start off with one of my favorite... Well, let's not start with one of my favorite IRs. Let's start with the V30 UK, which is from my IR pack from the new UK-made V30. Sounds very nice and round, kind of Petrucci-esque, if you will. So we're going to use the main mix there. I'm not going to change any of these settings. We're going to go back to the amp block. Let's take a listen to the default settings, okay? That doesn't sound bad or anything, but it's a little bit muddy, right? Even though it says Crunchberries, it doesn't sound, you know, tight and modern enough for my taste as is right now. So we're going to stick with these settings and tweak from here, okay? Now, one thing that I'm going to do right away is go to the master volume. So there are a bunch of settings in this amp model. As you can see, we've got the graphic EQ going on, which is essential for that Mark sound, of course. The first thing that I'm going to do is lower the master volume a bit, okay? Because we don't want or need power tube saturation. Of course, the level is now not loud enough, so let's crank it up a bit. A little bit more. Immediately, that's already a bit better for me, right? It's a bit more clear and less muddy and less saggy sounding. I really don't think that power tube saturation and compression is a desirable thing with this amplifier. We could even go a little bit lower, you know, just to make sure that there's none of that happening. Let's check the level once again. That's good. That's good. We're not there yet, okay? Let's explore all the controls. So you can choose between 2 channels. Right now we're on the lead channel. If we switch to normal, it's very loud. It's too loud, okay? So we're not going to do that. There's a bit of a popping sound going on there. Anyway, we're not interested in the normal channel. No clean tones in this video, at least not for this amplifier. So the 3-band EQ on these amps is very interesting. If you feel like the low end is a bit too flubby, what you can do is lower the bass control, okay? So as we do that, you'll hear that it starts to become more tight. Let's take a listen. You hear that? Now if I switch to the active voicing on the Fishman, it's going to become even more tight. But we're going to stick to the passive voicing. I don't mind a little bit of mids in there, but usually this control is on the subtle side. Take a listen. So what the EQ does is basically shape the character of the distortion rather than the overall EQ curve, right? So that's a really important thing with this amplifier. The overall EQ curve is controlled with the 5-band graphic EQ. So let's lower the bass a little bit. And then it's a bit more tight, you know? More tight and percussive. Now, if you want more gain, you can either add more drive or what you could do is, let's lower it back, is add treble, which will also add gain. Right? All right, let's move on and maybe we'll go back to these settings in a bit. Presence, let's take a listen to how that affects the tone. Let's lower it first. So that adds a lot of like upper mids as well. And then deep. It's kind of like a resonance control. I like it with deep on, to be honest. All right, let's go to the next page. Bass shift. Let's take a listen to what that does. Makes the low end a little bit more woolly, if you will. If I go to the active voicing, it might work a little bit better, but in this case, if we're going to stick to the passive voicing, I like it better with it off. Cool. Then we have the treble shift setting. Lowers the gain considerably when we turn it off. So I'm going to leave that on. Let's go to the bright setting. I like the aggression that it adds. Then we have the lead drive. Controls the amount of gain, basically. Lead master and master, which we already tried. It's a little bit on the bright side, but we'll get to that in a second. So right now, I think it needs a little bit more oomph in the low end to compensate for the brightness, and or we need to tame the brightness a little bit, which we will do soon. However, let's try the power mode. So we've got Simulclass and Class A. So it's a little bit hard to A/B because the level changes quite a bit when you go to the class, what is it? Class A mode. So we're gonna stick to Simulclass. I think that's a combination of EL34s and 6L6s. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's that. Then we get to the graphic EQ page. Now, as you can see, it's sounding a little bit bright because the upper mid and treble sliders are bumped up here with the stock settings, while the low sliders are a bit flat. So let's raise the 80 Hertz slider a bit. Oh yeah. That adds a good amount of chunk, right? We could lower the middle slider, so 750 Hertz, a little bit more. Yeah, that's already sounding really good, right? So I kind of like these settings. Let's try the active voicing once again. Tightens it up quite nicely. We're almost there. Going back to the passive voicing. I'm gonna leave the EQ for like this for now. Let's also try the hype control and see what happens, okay? Cool. Let's leave it off. I don't think it needs it. Let's go back to the first page and lower the bass a little bit more. You know what? Let's go for the Ola Englund settings and lower the mids all the way as well. And then raise the treble all the way. Yes, that is a pretty satisfying chug, if you ask me. Damn. So, yeah, as I mentioned, right now I'm using the V30 UK, which is on the smoother side regarding the top end. Let's try another IR, one of my favorites for metal, which would be the Heyday, which is based on a Heisu Demon. It's kind of like a scooped. Really nice, really nice. Let's also try the Carnivore. Yeah, cool. Now, you know, let's just stick with the V30 UK because it does work with this amp. It's kind of hard to stop playing because it sounds so awesome. For you guys, I will try the stock cabs as well. because I know you want to hear that stuff. I don't want to use IRs, I just want to use the stock cabs, which is fine. I like to use my own IRs because I like how they sound, and they are my sound because I made them with my own cabinet, right? So this is the stock Kali V30 cab. Let's raise the level. Now I think there's going to be impedance interaction going on as well if you use the stock cab. With the IR cab, I think it's going to default to like the standard impedance curve of that amplifier, which is probably a V30. But that's cool, you know. It doesn't sound bad. Let's try the SM57. Very bright. Let's move it away from the center. A little bit closer. That's pretty good. Cool. So that is that. Let's turn the cab block off and turn the IR back on. Now, if we want to fine-tune the tone a little bit with my IR, I would use the low cut a little bit, let's say 75. Let's go back to the stock cabinet. Let's also apply a low cut there. So that's the amp with the stock cabinet. Cool, right? So I'm really excited. I think this amp model sounds really awesome. Let's also try the Marshall real quick, just because it's also new. Let's start with an IR once again. Let's go with a greenback IR this time around. GM25. Greenbacks work well with Marshall amps, of course. The level is a little bit on the low side. Let's check what sort of options. So yeah, obviously this amp has a lot less options in terms of the, additional controls. It's a little bit woolly sounding. Of course, we have 3 channels. Rhythm with the pull clip, which is like diode clipping, and then lead. Let's dial in the lead a little bit for a good rock tone. So I'm lowering the master volume here, raising the level. It's quite woolly sounding, right? I know from my experience with my own amp, I have the mini Jubilee, that the EQ is very responsive. Yeah, so that's very different than like a JCM 800, where the EQ is very subtle. Let's boost the treble. There we go. Add a little more, add a little bit of bass, some drive. Yeah, that's pretty great. Nice and meaty and thick. Cool. Some good range on the presence control there. Let's add a little bit more treble, some mids, some bass. That is an excellent and thick Marshall tone right there. Pretty gainy in comparison to a JCM 800, right? That's why I think that the Jubilee, or the Jujube as it's called in here, is a bit more versatile. You can get clean tones, crunchy tones, and also a thick high gain tone, which I like. It's a little bit more dad rocky, if you know what I mean, than the 2C Plus, obviously, but it's a great sound. I like it. Cool. So that is that. I wanted to try that one real quick just to see how it sounds, and I'm impressed. I think it sounds great. So those are the new high gain amps, you know, on which I wanted to focus in this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I really like them, okay? I liked the older models, the EVH not so much. I do really like the Rev models. I think they sound great, for the high gain stuff at least. But I think that these two are a great addition. I love them a lot. They sound great. They feel great to play through. They're a lot of fun. So I hope you have fun with them as well, right? Now, if you want to get a Helix Stadium or Stadium XL or any Line 6 products, please use my affiliate links. I'll post them in the description for Tomon and Sweetwater. I'd really appreciate it, as you get to help out the channel that way, you know, at no additional cost for you guys. You can also get one of my IR packs in my web store, sonicdrivestudio.com, if you're interested. Thanks so much for watching. Also, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Cheers.